Hey everybody, this is Wrestling Man, and I haven't done one of these in quite a while, but this is my 5th Saturday night's main event video blog. Um, this is a very interesting Saturday night's main event because this one basically is the build-up to WrestleMania 2. Now, this event was recorded on February 15, 1986 in Phoenix, Arizona at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum, but aired on NBC on March the 1st, 1986. This episode got a 10.0 TV rating. So to start off the episode, Mean Gene is in the gym of Mr.T as he is getting trained for his boxing match with Cowboy Bob Orton. And Mr.T says, if you don't get out, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt you. Yeah, poo, gonna hurt you. So after the intro and after McMahon and Ventura talk about what'll happen, we take a look at how the boxing match between Bob Orton and Mr. T was set up. It was set up on a recent edition of Piper's Pit, where there was an open contract for anybody to have a boxing match with Bob Orton. Well, Hulk Hogan was there. He had the contract. He signed his name, and he signed it for Mr. T. So it would be Mr. T battling, not Cowboy in this one, battling Bob Orton. Now, of course, you have your typical, well, actually, first off, we got the interview with Orton and Piper, and it's vintage Piper making fun of Mr. T. And then we go back into the gym where Mean Gene is interviewing Mr. T and how he just dislikes Piper, just hates him, and he's going to beat Orton tonight. So both men are in the ring for the beginning of the boxing match. Round one is a little bit unusual because there is some interference on Piper's part and a blatant poke with the thumb into the eye of Mr. T. So we go to round two, and once again, Orton and Piper try to cheat. But as Piper was about to hit Mr. T, he moved and accidentally got Orton. Mr. T knocks Piper down, and then Mr. T knocks Bob Orton clear out of the ring for the 10 count. Mr. T wins in the second round of the fight. After the bout, however, Roddy Piper got back into the ring and wanted to challenge Mr. T to a match right then and there, only to be set up by Bob Orton and Roddy Piper. And then this leads into, well, let's be perfectly honest, racist moment number one. Yes, there are some racist moments on this episode. Now, Bob Orton is holding Mr. T by the arms and Piper is whipping him. That's not the racist part. The racist part is coming up. And Jesse Ventura says, "This is just like Roots 2. He's getting what he deserves." Oh, boy. Remember, this is the 80s. So, after we come back from a commercial break, Mr. T says that he wants Piper, and he's gonna get him. So now we go to our first wrestling match of the night, as it is King Kong Bundy going up against Steve Gatorwolf. If that is not the definition of a jobber match, I don't know what is. Now, before the match, Bobby Heenan was saying how they are looking forward to get Hulk Hogan. And King Kong Bundy reiterates the same sentence, "I want Hogan." But Mean Gene reminds them that they can't look over their opponent. And to which Bobby Heenan says, "I know, we'll take care of our prior commitments." So this is how the entire match goes. Bundy goes after Gatorwolf into the corner, chop, 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 chop. Sends him to the other corner, punches him. Sends him back to the other corner, avalanche, 1, 2, 3, King Kong Bundy gets the win. After the match, he takes the microphone from the Fink and just yells out, "I want Hulk Hogan." So now we go to the WWF Championship match. Don Morocco against Hulk Hogan. Now, before we get to the match, we have an interview with Don Morocco, and he says that Mr. Fuji will not be able to be at ringside to manage him tonight because he has the flu. Now get ready for racist moment number 2, in which Mean Gene says, I bet he's got the Asian flu. And then Morocco just gives a and then he says that that Mr. Fuji, in his infinite wisdom, has given him a replacement manager for the night, Bobby the Brain Heenan, in which Bobby Heenan says, anything that involves Hulk Hogan, I get involved with. And then we see Mr. Fuji in the back with some terrible acting on his part, being sick. So then we get Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan says that he feels there's something fishy going on there, but that he's going to go into the ring and he's going to take care of Morocco. So we get to the match, and this is actually a decent match. Hulk Hogan gets a lot of offense in on this match, and Morocco does get some offense as well. End of the match comes, Hogan gets the big boot, hits the leg drop, and then Bobby Heenan comes in all of a sudden to break up the 3 count. Morocco is disqualified, Hogan wins. However, Hogan grabs Bobby Heenan by the throat, choking him, only for King Kong Bundy to make his way towards the ring and attack Hulk Hogan. And then it is a 3-on-1 assault on Hogan as the referee gets thrown out of the ring. Morocco holds the arms of Hulk Hogan into the turnbuckle as Bundy hits 3 avalanches. That's right, 3 avalanches on Hulk Hogan, and then hits a big splash, and then hits another one on his back, and leaves before men like the British Bulldog and Pedro Morales could stop it. So we come back, and Hulk Hogan is in the ambulance, and Gorilla Monsoon makes an appearance, and someone's trying to take a photo, and he's like, "Get the hell out of here! Get the hell out of here!" So Gorilla Monsoon goes with Hulk Hogan into the ambulance. Mean Gene follows them to go to the local hospital. So then we go to the WWF Tag Team Championship match. Brutus Beefcake and Greg Valentine defending the titles against the British Bulldogs. Now, this is a good match. I'm not going to lie. This is a good match. Has a unique ending. I'll get to that momentarily. But for the most part of this match, the Bulldogs dominate Beefcake and Valentine. There are a couple of moments where they get an opportunity in, but it's pretty much the Bulldogs. The end of the match comes when Dynamite and Valentine are in the ring. Dynamite pushes Valentine into the ropes. They knock heads, but Valentine falls over on Dynamite Kid. 1, 2, 3, Valentine and Beefcake win, retain the tag team titles. Now, my personal opinion, this is a good match, but it's not nearly as good as the match that they would have at WrestleMania 2. And then we go to the local hospital where Mean Gene says that they won't let him into the hospital right now because of cameras and the microphone, but as soon as they get an update, they will bring it to us. And then we get the music video premiere of Hulk Hogan's Real America. If you've never seen this video before, shame on you. This is quite an interesting little number, this music video. But it is the 80s, so what can you say? And Vince McMahon says that Hogan was originally going to introduce the video, but because of what happened tonight, Vince McMahon did it instead. And then we go to our final match of the night. Adorable Adrian Adonis against the Junkyard Dog. This is quite a weird match. I'm not going to lie. This is a weird match. First part, Junkyard Dog just takes control. And then when they come back from break, they do a little bit more. And then Adonis takes advantage. The end of the match comes when Adonis attempts a pile driver on the Junkyard Dog. The legs of the dog knock the referee down. Jimmy Hart goes up on the apron, has his microphone. He's going to send the dog in, but the dog reverses, and Adrian Adonis goes into the megaphone. Down goes Adonis. Jimmy Hart goes down. JYD pins him. 1, 2, 3. Junkyard Dog wins. After the match, Adonis hits the Junkyard Dog with the megaphone, but it's too little, too late. And then we get, oh boy, what Vince McMahon calls one of the greatest moments in all of sports. Jimmy Hart being sent over the top with Adrian Adonis to the floor. So then we go back to the hospital where Gene Okerlund has the doctor, which is Dr. Panovich, and he says that Hogan has suffered rib injury, lower back injury, no internal bleeding, and that he'll be all right eventually. So then we get a quick recap of the night with mainly the boxing match and Hulk Hogan's attack, and that's basically the end of Saturday night's main event. What did I think about this episode? Oh boy. The first time when I saw this, I was going to give this a real low grade, but I had to watch this a second time around, and I think I appreciated it a little bit more the second time around, but I'm not going to give it a high number. I'm going to maybe give this one a 3. No, you know what? I'm going to give it a 4, just because of the good tag team title match with the Bulldogs and Valentine and Beefcake. Also for the build-up, what would eventually be the build-up for WrestleMania 2, Piper and Mr. T in the boxing match, the Bulldogs against Valentine and Beefcake for the tag titles, and Hogan and King Kong Bundy in the cage, setting up WrestleMania 2 in 3 locations, and each one of them would be in 3 separate locations. So that's going to do it for this review of of this Saturday night's main event. The next time I review Saturday night's main event, it'll be, you could say, the 1-year anniversary of Saturday night's main event. And this is a very interesting one because we have a feud that gets started because of one move on the concrete floor. You don't want to miss the next review of Saturday night's main event.